Greetings. This is Soul Inspired Feminine. I hope you all are well. Today is June 25th, and I wanted to continue my celebration of Michael Jackson. And if anyone remembers, today is the day that, he left us, and it's been 17 years. And it's, depending on your algorithm, it is on social media and different pages and different apps and things like that, just remembering him today. And so, my page has not turned into a Michael Jackson tribute page, but I wanted to, just add on to the energy of the remembrance of Michael Joseph Jackson today. And I have so many more things to talk about, and I will as I move to. But I wanted to just, talk a little bit about and ask a question. Why is Michael Jackson missed so much? And we know that Michael, had his movie out, and so that brought up the discussion of the importance of Michael Jackson and what he meant to humanity and what he meant to society, and also our personal thoughts and feelings about him and his music and his life, his extraordinary life, and him being a Black American and how big that was. And I was just looking at some old videos and old, I would say, shows, as well as shows of, celebrations and tributes and award shows. And I recognize that generation, and even the generation before him, was the generation of celebrity. And you would never see those type of celebrities again. I mean, the people that were on the stage on that particular show that I saw, they were huge Black American celebrities, even white celebrities, and you will never see that type of celebrity again, I don't believe. I think that generation may have been the generation of Leo, the Pluto and Leo generation, and the generation of after that was, of course, the Pluto and Virgo generation. But something about the Pluto and Leo generation, if you know anything about Leo, which I am a Leo and also have Venus in Leo. So if you know anything about Leo, it really is about celebrity. It is about having skills, so many type of skills, and being seen, having so many talents, having childlike abilities. And I will have to look at his chart again. I think that he may have been in that generation. If not, he was right at the end or right at the beginning of the Pluto and Virgo generation. So back to my conversation about why we miss Michael so much. And he had an extraordinary impact on music, but it was far beyond music. His talent was unique. At such a young age, when he was on the Ed Sullivan Show and sang old Smokey Robinson Miracle Song, which was Who's Loving You. He stood out. He was so precious and so talented, but he had the soul of an old man, of a man who had been through something. And his artistic talent was so unique, even at such a young age. His singing, his dancing, his stage presence, his music videos, they transformed popular music. Songs like Billie Jean, of course, Man in the Mirror, Thriller was the biggest one. Bad, Dirty Diana, The Way You Make Me Feel. All of his videos were huge events, and they changed music. They were unique. Everyone sat by the TV when it was time for his new music video to come out, even black or white. Michael had a stage presence like no other, and he had so many years of talent to back it up. I was looking at his years of when he was again with the Jacksons, and a lot of people skip that part of his journey, but so much talent. His voice changed, and he became this wonderful singer anyway. Didn't matter, and he was able to adapt to different music styles, and he worked with different producers at that time, and he just continued to grow as a entertainer, as a dancer, as a singer, as a personality. And he was just beautiful through his stages of childhood to adolescence to young adults, teenage years to young adults. And he was just so, isn't it amazing that we're able to see him from a little child all the way up to an adult, to a grown man midlife? So, yeah, and he also created emotional connections through his music all over the world. His music often carried messages of love and healing and unity and social change. Many people grew up with his music during important moments in their lives. So many memories of him are tied to childhood, to family, and personal experiences. And looking back at old clips, if you were alive and you were a child or a teenager, you always can connect to that time when you see certain video clips. And so many people are trying to use his videos. Well, not use, but they're trying to make them, I guess they call it 4K. They're trying to make his videos more adaptable to, social media, or to so that they're clearer and you can really see him and all of the work they were doing, all of the beautiful music they were making and dance moves and all of the concerts. So I really am appreciative of that because I wanted to see them myself. And Michael was a global phenomenon. Like, few artists have reached the level of worldwide influence that Michael Jackson achieved. Many people from many countries, cultures, and generations felt connected to him. Even though he sang English, it didn't matter what country it was. They knew his music, his words. They loved him. They adored him. And they felt connected to him through his music, through his entertainment, through his the ability to connect to all cultures, children, adults, animals, humanity, the world. And he was bigger than the world in some respects. I know people say, oh no, yeah, he was. We could try to humanize him as much as we want, but even though he was in human flesh, in the body, his spirit was bigger than that. So, his performances felt magical. His concerts and videos, such as Thriller, as I mentioned before, Smooth Criminal, and The Moonwalk, created unforgettable moments that still inspire today. He also, with his sudden passing, his death, when he died unexpectedly in 2009, many fans felt like there was more music and creativity yet to come. And, the sense of unfinished possibilities can deepen the feelings of loss. I was devastated when he passed. I cried and cried and cried. And I was obsessed. I was grieving. I was grieving Michael Jackson, my family, my mother, my grandmother. Everyone was grieving him, and then there were celebrations, but the grief was there, the shock was there. We were shocked. And I even looked it up that there were some people so just in distraught, so in despair and grief, that some people unalive themselves during this time. Like, this is how serious this was for some people. They were devastated. Devastated. Look it up. I want you to look it up. I mean, it's a sad thing, but some people literally did take their own lives. And that's horrific. Now, this is a sidebar. There are people who are saying that he did not pass. Now, that is something in itself, saying that this was something deeper going on, that he is still here. Now, I don't know. I just don't understand how that could be, and him not be with his children and not, with his family, his mother. But there are conspiracy theories out there that's saying something else. And you never know in this business. The more that's being uncovered about what's going on behind the scenes, and these people having to take oaths, and these PDF files and PDF rings and all these different things, I don't know what to believe anymore. And I don't wreck my brain trying to figure it out. All I know is that Michael Jackson is not here where we can see him perform anymore. He's not doing concerts. He's not putting out new music. And so he is not here for his fans. He, in my mind, is no longer in the physical form. That he is an ascended master now. He is Archangel Michael reincarnated. He is a black angel, an angel with soul. And no matter how many types of things that people say, I can't go see him in concert. I cannot go see him in concert. I can't see what he would be as 68 years old today. So that still hurts. And just seeing him through the different ages, he was so beautiful. I really wish he realized how beautiful he was. Like, just a beautiful smile, beautiful cheekbones and bone structure and slim body. And I know that he struggled sometimes. He struggled with his image. He struggled with his body image and his face. And I was looking at the James Brown tribute he did on the BET Awards, and that was the healthiest he had looked in a long time. He was really just a beautiful person. And so many people say that, like, we miss having those type of souls and genuine souls on the planet that shine so brightly. And his either way, his legacy continues through his albums such as Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, Off the Wall, Invincible, and the song Chicago is becoming really popular now. It's really interesting to see how that song, and I love it. Like, we was jamming to it the other day. We was bumping it in the car, and that song has become a big hit. And it's one song that he also recorded. I can't remember the name of it. It was his last song that he recorded. That's really beautiful. I think it was Remember I Told You. I don't know. I think that's the name of it. But I feel like his, for so many people, Michael Jackson, again, wasn't just an entertainer. He felt like a presence in the world. He brought a certain energy, imagination, magic, and message of compassion that people connected to very deeply. His humanitarian message especially touched many hearts. Songs like Heal the World, Earth Song, Will You Be There weren't just songs. They were calls for people to be kinder, more conscious, more loving toward one another. In a world that often feels harsh or divided, many people still long for that type of message. And this is, the sadness surrounding the canceled tour of This Is It. Many fans felt like this tour was going to be a new chapter for him. a chance for him to reconnect with audiences, demonstrate his artistry once again, and perhaps reshape the narrative around his life because it never happened. There remains a sense of incompleteness and a story that ended too soon. There's something about artists whose gifts seem larger than life. Their physical absence can leave a space that feels very real. Yet, in another sense, Michael is still among us through his music, dance, humanitarian legacy, and the inspiration he continues to spark in millions of people around the world. Yeah. And I'm discovering songs I knew growing up. I'm discovering new songs by Michael all the time. Um, I'm loving the song Price of Fame because it got more like a Caribbean reggae beat to it of that time, the 80s when he recorded it. I'm loving Get on the Floor on Off the Wall album. Again, Chicago. I mean, just so many songs I forgot about when I loved them. Um, so yeah, today is kind of bittersweet. But Michael again is on another plane, and people really, it's like he's been redeemed, regardless of all the things that this media, the legacy media, is trying to do to him, including Netflix. We're not listening to that crap anymore. These people lying on him. It's just a continued attack, right? And so we're just remembering this star that we were blessed to have on the planet. And all of us are stars. He was just able to truly, like, really become the star that he was meant to. And again, we'll never see another Michael Jackson again. I don't care who comes along. They're going to have their own lane anyway. But we'll never see another Michael. And I just wanted to remember him today. And do you remember where you were when you found out the news that Michael Jackson had moved on, had passed on, had transcended, had transitioned? Do you remember where you were? Do you remember what you were doing and how you felt? Yeah, it's been 17 years. So we are ending it now on that note. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Play his music today. Have a beautiful tribute to him. Play the music that you love. Remember his legacy and his work. And just remember who you are in the midst of it. Bring in the joy of someone who truly had a gift and used it. And bring up the vibration on the planet because we need it. We need to bring and raise the vibration, raise the frequency on the planet right now. We have very harsh people in power, but they're not succeeding. And the more that we rebel, the more that we raise the vibration and the frequency, the more that we can fight back against the evil on the planet. And I'm so thankful that so many people are waking up, are waking out of sleep, and that they're starting to see what the hell is going on this planet. I still will continue to say no to data centers. I don't care if this means that we have to cut all this stuff off to save the planet. Play Earth Song today. Play Heal the World. Today they were saying that at 2:28 p.m. to play Heal the World. And wherever you may be on the planet, but here in the U.S., play Heal the World. And in that too, we need to fight against these data centers. We need to fight against these things that are not good for the planet. They're poisoning the waters. They are poisoning our air. They're sucking our resources. They're not only noise pollution, water pollution, they're taking up valuable land. We don't know the long-term effects of these data centers. And so there's so much that we need to do now. We can use Michael, as a defender of justice. We can talk and use the messages that Michael left to implement what we need to implement. So, on that note, again, I wanted to end this and not go off on another on a tangent, but it needed to be said. And sending you much love, peace, and light, power, Sakim, calling that energy of Mayat. Anezrecha Mayat. Nukta tenet Mayat nuk Mayat. Dua Mayat. Dua Jehuti. Dua Sheshet. I call in that energy of that power of the Netzeru, the Neb, and the Bet. We honor the energy. We honor the power. We honor Sakim within us. Hotep, which is peace. And we walk forward as one people. We honor our Black American brother who was born in Gary, Indiana, who left an impression on the world that would never be seen again. And I ask that we continue to uplift and be as beautiful and powerful as we can be, and use our talents as Jupiter is in Leo. Use our talents, our creativity, and our God-given, goddess-given talents. Ashe, Ashe. Ankh Ujasanab. Peace and blessings to you all. This is Soul Inspired Feminine. Peace.